Paul, you are researching the Balkans, and you were talking about that the changes that are happening in the Balkan countries, and particularly in relation to telecommunications investments and telecommunications competition. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, Paul. The event that's happened recently that led me to decide on this topic is what happened in Serbia. Only a few months ago they adopted a new telecommunications law. Now, while that happens everywhere else, what this new telecommunications law does is that it adopts the EU's 2003 regulatory framework for communications. This same regulatory framework has been adopted by most other countries in the Balkans, and what this means is that they are now harmonising their regulatory environment for telecoms with the rest of the EU. They are doing this as part of the process of joining the EU. Now, what this means for Europe in general is that for investors, what that means is a more uniform regulatory environment. And now what investors would like is, of course, if the regulatory environment is the same across where they're investing, it makes it easier for them. Secondly, what that means for competition is that, as has been seen within the EU, the regulatory environment has improved competition, especially for things like network access, interconnection, mobile termination rates, and things like that. The results of that have been seen through the increased number of competitors, and while that is not the case in the Balkans, I foresee within the next maybe 2, 3, 4 years, we will see improved rates of competition as seen in broadband take-up. Yes.
What about the mobile market, Paul, in the Balkans? Is mobile, like in other emerging markets, growing faster than, for example, fixed-based telecommunications?
Yes, like in many other markets, the mobile market is now larger than the fixed market. Now, mobile market competition is predominantly infrastructure-based, with most countries having 2, 3, and sometimes 4 mobile network operators. What the new regulatory environment does is that it will improve things like network termination rates, so that will improve competition for new market entrants because they will no longer be, they'll have a more level playing field. So that's how it can help them, yes. It should also help any mobile virtual network operators that do wish to start services, although from what I've seen in the rest of Eastern Europe, that is part of the EU, they have not been so successful, so I'm not sure if they can be successful in the Balkans either, so we'll have to wait and see.
Thank you very much, Paul.